All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome. I'd like to welcome you all to the official partnership announcement launch between the Atlanta University Center Data Science Initiative and Mastercard. That's where you give a round of applause. This is a celebration. So I do want you to know this is a celebratory event, so loosen up, have some fun. We're distinguished, but we're here to celebrate as well this amazing and historic day today. So joined with us today, we have leadership from both the Atlanta University Center Consortium and Mastercard, including the 12th president of Morehouse College, Dr. David A. Thomas. We also have Dr. Pamela E. Scott, who is the provost at Spelman College. We have Dr. Michael Hodge, the Atlanta University Center Executive Director and CEO. Yes. Also, the fifth president of Clark Atlanta University, Dr. George T. French, Jr., along with Todd Green, who is a vice president and executive director of WorkRise, and was also a former executive director here at the Atlanta University Center Consortium. We have a lot of faculty as well, but I also want to announce our Mastercard leadership who has joined us today, including Sarah Eli, who's the Senior Vice President of Strategic Growth at Mastercard. We also have Ms. Dawn Boudwin, who's the Director of Mastercard's In Solidarity Initiative. Thank you. And last but definitely not least, we have the founder and president of the Mastercard Center for Inclusive Growth, Executive Vice President of Sustainability at Mastercard, Ms. Shamina Singh. All right. Now, my name is Tommy Taylor Jr. I'm the communications lead at the Atlanta University Center Data Science Initiative. And we have a very exciting program for you today. So again, we're here to celebrate. And I know you're wondering what the announcement of this partnership is. And to fully detail that, I have the privilege and honor to welcome, again, the 12th president of Morehouse College, who's very distinguished, and his resume goes on and on. One of the top, just recently named one of the 100 most influential Georgians, amongst many other honors. So please help me welcome, with a lot of energy and a lot of love, Dr. David A. Thomas, president of Morehouse College.
Great. It's a great crowd for today's announcement, which is truly important. So I want to start, they give me notes, and I always go off script. So I'm going to start with this top of the script, and then I'm going to go off script. Okay. As chair of the Atlanta University Center Consortium Board of Trustees, I welcome you to celebrate this partnership between Mastercard and the AUC Data Science Initiative. Now I'm going to go off script. When I arrived, I am now in finishing my 6th year as president of Morehouse College. And this semester is the start of my 2nd term as president of Morehouse College. And I remember when I arrived, the then presidents of the various schools that make up the Atlanta University Consortium, Spelman College, Morehouse College, Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse School of Medicine. Those presidents, only one of whom is still here, who was here before I got here, but they had a vision. I don't know whether you call it a vision, a premonition, or they had just looked out into the world. And that vision that they came up with, that notion was driven by the observation that the 21st century will be defined by several things. One of them will be data science and data analytics. And that data and the ability to use data will become another literacy. And it won't matter if you want to be a journalist or if you want to be in bioinformatics, if you want to be a scientist, you want to be a lawyer. You're going to have to understand data. And so they went about gathering the support and understanding of our faculty, as well as potential donors to support the center. And United Healthcare stepped forward with our initial starting grant of $8.5 million. Because the other observation that they made that I joined with is, at institutions such as ours, we have to engage partners who are not just doing drive-bys, not just dropping in and kind of thinking, you know, that a small gift will get them access to our students, they can grab some talent and move on. But we have to engage partners who will invest in us in ways that make what we're doing sustainable, beyond just the moment. So United Healthcare stepped up. We then were able to go out and find an extraordinary leader for this effort, Dr. Talitha Washington. And I just want to point out who has an international reputation as a mathematician, as an educator, as a data scientist, and also is, here's where I'm very off script. She's about the money. By that I mean, she's about drawing the resources that will make this sustainable beyond any of our time. You know, Shamina Singh, who's been the spearhead of this, at least from my perception, from Mastercard, who you'll hear from later, she gets it. She gets this notion that we have to invest in the talent of tomorrow, and we have to invest in the skills and perspectives that the talent of tomorrow will need. And so this gift from Mastercard, $6.5 million. What this gift says is that Mastercard is not doing a drive-by of HBCUs. They are investing in the Atlanta University Center Consortium so that this effort will be sustainable. And, you know, a few of you in the room are connected with Morehouse, so you've heard me go, go on too long. I can see some of your eyes like, okay, there he goes, there he goes, there he goes. But you know, one of the things that I talk about is we need partnerships of purpose that are focused on the sustainability of the work we do and not simply making ourselves feel good about what we do today, but so that we can look down the road 100 years. And places like Morehouse and Clark Atlanta and Spelman and Morehouse School of Medicine are continuing to do the work to create extraordinary leaders focused on the most important challenges of our society. So Shamina and the team at Microsoft, you have my gratitude and my admiration, because you are investing in us in a way that creates sustainability. And that is worthy of the celebration that our team has created here today. So with that, I'll conclude my off-script remarks, go back to the script, and call back up our MC. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're pleased to announce the $6.5 million award from Mastercard. So give that another round of applause. Excitement, we're celebrating today. Now we should have some more happy faces. 6.5 million, and we fed you, right? Free food, which is my favorite flavors, amen? All right, so we're going to continue this, and I do be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our director here at the Atlanta University Center of Data Science Initiative, Dr. Talitha Washington. And so next up, we have a very special panel, which is our impact panel, which will speak on the current state of data science here in the AUC and at Mastercard and our future endeavors. So coming to the stage, who will be our moderator, is Dr. Talitha Washington, Director of the AUC Data Science Initiative. And our panelists include faculty, Mastercard, leadership, and students. So I'm going to announce them up first. First, we have Dr. Joseph A. Tyndall, medical doctor, the Dean and Executive Vice President of Health Affairs at the Morehouse School of Medicine. And you can come right up to take a lovely seat. We also have Dr. Alfred Watkins, who's the Department Chair for Computer Science and Senior Assistant Professor at Morehouse College as well. Next, we have Dr. Ivis King, who is the Assistant Professor of Social Work at Clark Atlanta University. Followed by Lyric Jackson, who is an Adjunct Professor of Dance at Spelman College. And last but not least, we have the President of the AUC Data Science Club and PhD candidate in Biomedical Science, Ms. Kyra Brewer. Oh, yeah. And Dr. Wash, you can come right here, because we're slightly off script, but our filling in for Ms. Salah Goss is very special, from Washington, D.C. Yes, we have the Director in Solidarity at Mastercard, who will speak on their behalf, Ms. Dawn Boudwin.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming today. As you said, my name is Talitha Washington, and I have the wonderful job of being director of the Atlanta University Center Data Science Initiative, and I get to work with all these amazing people. So we're just going to have just a few words, reflective words about data science. What are people up to and what's going on? So Dr. Adrian Tyndall, starting with you, I think you have to grab the mic. As Dean and Executive Vice President of Health Affairs at Morehouse School of Medicine and Chair of the AUC Council of Chief Academic Officers, what is data science and why is it so important?
Well, thank you, Dr. Washington, and good to see everyone here. I will tell you what it is from several different perspectives, first of all. We know and understand how important data and data science and artificial intelligence especially has really informed healthcare delivery, research, and impact. So data science really is about understanding the use of data to support decisions, to support strategy, to support therapeutics, to support outcomes, and to inform research. We have recognized, and I will say this from the perspective of the School of Medicine, that the importance of data science in education has been extraordinarily important in now fundamentally understanding medicine and research. And so having this asset, especially at the undergraduate levels, really, I think, gives the opportunity to truly prepare the workforce of the future for high impact in all of these spaces. But the investment in data science, really at the AUC level, is extraordinarily important for the future workforce development that we're actually seeing.
Thank you. Dr. Ivis King, as an assistant professor of social work, you have participated in many activities of the initiative, from the affiliates program to mini grants to workshops, just to name a few. How has your engagement with the AUC Data Science Initiative impacted your research and teaching?
Oh, good question. Can you hear me?
You got to hold the mic up.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So as an assistant professor at the Clark Atlanta University,
The illustrious.
the illustrious, I have the privilege of working in the Whitney M. Young Jr. School of Social Work. Social work in itself is the end-all, the be-all to everything that everybody do in this room, and you don't know it. Data science is where we connect that. Our students provide services, interventions, develop programs, services, all of those things, policies. Starting in our undergraduate program, they learn how to work with communities. They learn how to develop policies. And with the inclusion of data science, they learn now how to do that using machine learning, which helps us develop our interventions with our clients better. We always have used SPSS in our research, but now with the skill sets that they have, they could join anyone's team. And I will say that we don't have the authority to say that everything that you all do, you need a social worker, but I'm telling you, if you're doing data science, you need a social worker on your team because you're exploring data, but then you have to tell that story. That story is told, typically people are interested in doing social justice. That's what we do, right? We bring to light what your data means, and so having our students there is a great impact on everything that you do in data science.
Thank you. Dr. Alfred Watkins, as the chair of the computer science at Morehouse College, you are leading the way, whether you like it or not, in establishing a data science minor. And there are similar minors at Spelman College and Clark Atlanta University. What do you think a minor in data science will afford all students, and is it really for all majors?
That's a great question. From my perspective, from my years in education, I've often looked for opportunities not only to teach those who are in computer science, but to share what we've learned in computing with the rest of the world. So I've had the opportunity to do collaborative research. In my 10 years, I served at Spelman College. I have colleagues from Spelman in chemistry, in biology, where we found common ground over data. No matter what discipline there is, there's data to be understood, analyzed, and to be made sense of for problem-solving purposes. And so that's what our students are being trained to be, problem solvers, as they leave this place. And I want them to be equipped with these data tools as they go forth. So yes, I think it's for every major, this data science minor that we're lifting up at Morehouse and throughout the Atlanta University Center. And I love the collaboration. I have a great friend in social work at the Clark Atlanta University.
Illustrious.
As a result of data science, and I'm grateful.
Thank you so much. Professor Lyric Jackson, you are a dance instructor who also regularly teaches data science workshops with the Carpentries nationwide. For those wanting to come into data science, what helped you advance your data science expertise?
Thank you for that question. It's a wonderful one. Well, starting with the Data Science Initiative, my first workshop that I took as a student, as a learner, was through the Harvard Institute. And they came, they did a wonderful workshop online, and it pushed me to think about how we risk take. In the dance department, we are constantly pushing our students to continue to take risks, try things that are out of our comfort zone, things that are new, things that push us to think about movement and the way we move throughout this world differently. So if you're trying to or thinking about getting into data science, taking the most amount of workshops that you can, taking your time, asking questions, being okay and giving yourself grace when you mess up on a line of code, because it's most likely going to mess up the rest of those lines of code, and you have to be very comfortable with that, being able to go back to it and continue to try and continue to learn and to continue to grow. So as I've began my journey inside of data science, and this month is my 1-year anniversary of being a carpentries instructor. I'm so thankful for all the risks that I have been afforded to take through the data science initiative and everything that I've learned. So yeah, just take risks.
I love it. Kyra Brewer, first of all, I love your shirt. As president of the Atlanta University Center Data Science Club, what makes students most interested in data science?
Well, wait, can everyone hear me? Great. So as a PhD student in biomedical science, I wasn't exactly aware that data science would ever be a part of my project or my career. But having seen the versatility and usefulness of it, I've come to understand this is why it's so appealing, and just how freeing it is, how useful it is, and how much easier it makes a lot of what my research is. Especially the puzzle solving aspect of it. That's really what grabs me and a few of my peers that I've spoken to. We see it as all this new data that's given to us, just all these numbers. It's confusing at first, it's daunting at first, but just working through it, making the connections, finding the little metadata and the patterns, making those connections, the relationships through those data, we kind of have a sense of elation once that puzzle has been solved. So for me, in a simple term, it's fun for us to actually use it, the risk. So yes.
I totally agree. Don Baldwin, as director of Mastercard's In Solidarity initiative at the Center for Inclusive Growth, what makes Mastercard so interested in developing talent in data science?
It's a really good question. I think I have to start by just saying how excited I am about today, though. Dr. Washington and Dr. Hodge, I know we've been, and Todd, we've been talking about this for some time, so it's very exciting to sort of see this come to life. And I think to say, you know, give a little context to how this partnership came together, I think it also helps to shed light on why we find this important and important to invest in data science. So I'm fairly new to Mastercard. I've been here a little less than 2 years, but as I came in, as Dr. Washington mentioned, I came in as the director of In Solidarity, which is Mastercard's $500 million commitment towards closing the racial wealth and opportunity gap. I'm also housed within the Center for Inclusive Growth, where we do a lot of social impact. And on our social impact side, we've been in the data science space for some years now, probably 5-6 years. Shamina, keep me honest here. And we know that it is essential to get more folks with data education in order to build a more inclusive economy, right? Folks need equitable access to data, data technology, data science, all of those things. So this partnership really exemplifies that and builds on the work that we've already been doing at the Center for Inclusive Growth, whether it be with the work that we're doing with Howard, the work that we're doing with Pitt UN, and also the work at the University of Virginia. So this is really exciting to see it take a new form and continue to build in this area.
Thank you. Give a round of applause for our amazing panelists. Thank you.
All right. We're going to move the program along. we are pleased to be in the company of our distinguished city leaders as well. So I'd like to invite our, make sure I have the district right, representing the 3rd District of the Atlanta City Council, Mr. Byron D. Amos.
Well, thank you. As he said, I'm City Council Member Byron Amos, City Council District 3. On behalf of the 61st Mayor of the City of Atlanta, all of my colleagues on the Atlanta City Council, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to Mastercard. Thank you for the AUC Consortium for making this happen. You know, I'm even still learning now because I'm thinking data science is something new, but then I thought about my first campaign. And I needed to know how many precincts, how many registered voters. Then we broke those registered voters down into who was senior citizens, who was Gen X, who was Gen Z. And then we could tell you who was going to win because we had all that data. And I said, I've been doing data science all this time and didn't even know it. So looking at where we are in the world of politics, economics, and in the world of government, this opportunity to put more people that look like me, talk like me, raised like me, born like me, into that arena is a blessing. So I say thank you for being a blessing for all of the students that will cross the threshold of the AUC and other historical black colleges and universities. And thank you for once again helping Atlanta be the first amongst many things. So thank you on behalf of my city, and thank you on behalf of the Atlanta City Council and our mayor.
Thank you so much. Such great words. And I've never heard a politician be so succinct. Very excellent. That's some great data right there. That's some great data points. Yes, the Atlanta University Center Data Science Initiative has been doing some amazing work over the past 3 or so years since our inception. And to speak about the further growth and where we're headed, from the AUC and beyond, we're bringing back to stage our director, Dr. Talitha Washington.
So, when I told somebody about this, they said, well, what is my HBCU going to get from this, right? Because our goal is to work across all historically black colleges and universities in real partnerships around data science. So I'm just going to give you a little snippet, a little teaser about the ambitions of what we're going to do. One thing we're going to look at is faculty development. So each summer, we're going to have about 50 HBC faculty members descend down in the wonderful city of Atlanta, participate in workshops alongside with industry to facilitate networking across the schools and also with industry, with the ambitious goal of having 150 new or reframed courses created across HBCUs that are informed by industry, reaching more than 12,000 students. Another area is working across computer science departments. As we know, math is the queen of all sciences, but that was Gauss, if you didn't know, right? That was a Gauss quote. And also computer science is a cornerstone as well in data science. So we want to actively work with computer science departments in areas such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, data visualization, cybersecurity, and other important key technology areas. And so we're going to hire 3 new computer scientists across the AUC schools, and who will also be delegated to work in partnership with other HBCUs to either develop their curriculum, rethink courses, and enhance the learning experience for their students. So there'll be a lot of, I suppose, a data science evangelism that will be occurring in cross-fertilization. And the goal there, working with the computer science departments, is to have 12 new data-specific courses and reaching over 1,000 students while working in collaboration across the computer science landscape. Another area is student enrichment and support. We have the esteemed summer program. It's called the Pre-Freshman Summer Experience Program that's been stewarded here by faculty members. One, which is Eric Mintz. Dr. Eric Mintz is a VP for Research at Clark Atlanta University. Dr. Kenneth Gaucher of Morehouse College, Dr. Marinette Holmes of Spelman College, and Dr. Angelina Howard of Morehouse School of Medicine. These 4 have guided my path on this pre-freshman summer experience program. We've been doing it here. It's grown every summer. We're going to take it to a national level. It's a summer data science program, virtual 1 week, where incoming students engage in a data science project under the esteemed privilege of an instructors, and I see some instructors here, Professor Daniel, Professor Green, Professor Brown. I mean, there are more here who have actually taught in this program. So we're going to take this to a national level with the goal of having a total over 3 years, 450 pre-freshman students at HBCUs go through that experience. And we're also going to take what we're learning in doing data science challenges and open that up to other HBCUs as well. We're doing one right now with Morgan Stanley, which is a phenomenal experience in having industry mentors, AUC faculty mentors with students, really creating a nice triangle of learning. We're taking that nationwide. And then the last one is to establish an HBCU data science career hub. In the technical field, such as data science, technical interviewing, being prepared, knowing how do you actually solve or think algorithmically in an interview at the workplace could be a challenge for some of our students. So we want to work alongside career services offices across HBCUs on how we can best equip our students to just be confident and excel in the interview and also excel in these technical-oriented jobs. So the idea there is to have and position 120 HBCU students to gain data science employment upon graduation, and also engage with so we have numbers for everything, right? 150 HBCU career counselors to upskill in data science careers and placement, because as we know, it takes the whole ecosystem. And since President Thomas didn't read all the remarks I wrote for him, I'm gonna read them, if y'all don't mind, because I like them. Okay, so just bear with me, okay? So now I'm gonna read his remarks. I'm gonna take a detour, sorry, Tommy. So if you didn't know, the Atlanta University Consortium was conceived to coordinate activities and create economies of scale assigned to it by its member institutions, including Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse College, Morehouse School of Medicine, and Spelman College. The AUC presidents understand that the strength of our institution relies on the success of all HBCUs. It is no longer that research and innovation happen by one person or one institution. It takes genuine partnerships to expand data science that challenges bias in data and technology. It takes creating new pathways that connect both students and faculty with those in industry. It takes bold ambitions to make a significant increase in diversity in the data science field. It takes the HBCU community as a whole, and we advance forward in data together. John Hope, who was the past president of Morehouse College and Atlanta University, said, "One feels the excitement of hearing an untold story. There are many more stories that will be told from this partnership that will speak to the intellectual and character development of students, the new opportunities that this partnership affords." On behalf of the entire AUC community and our friends across the HBCU landscape, I am deeply excited about the data stories that are yet to come. So thank you, Mastercard, for partnering with us in this important work. We look forward to working with you, as well as all historically Black colleges and universities, to cultivate data-rich insights that will have a broad effect across the data science landscape. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Washington. Now to speak on why the AUC Data Science was selected for such a great award, and to speak on the future of Mastercard and their endeavors. Coming to the stage now is the executive president, the executive vice president of sustainability at Mastercard, and the founder and president of the Mastercard Center for Inclusive Growth, Ms. Shamina Singh.
A little short, so I'm just going to step this way. Thank you so much. Your presence is such a gift to all of us. So to the esteemed members of the of academic institutions, the provosts and the professors, the students, the teachers, the professors, like, it means so much that you showed up today. So really, so grateful for that. My name is Shamina Singh, and I just want to give a little bit of context to why data science, why AUC, and I think that comes from, I need to say a little bit about Mastercard. So for those of you who may not know, Mastercard is a network. We're in 210 countries. We have 100 million businesses on the network. We have 8 billion cardholders on the network, and we basically engage in the business of trust, which means we enable people who don't know one another to exchange things of value. Now, it may sound simple because we take that all for granted, but think about what kind of technology and what kind of rules and what kind of data is required to ensure that that happens for trillions of dollars, billions of times a day, within millions within a second. And so if you think about Mastercard as a major network, you understand why this partnership with another major collective network of universities makes so much sense. Because it allows us to achieve scale in a way that can impact many. It's Salah Goss, who's not here, is here to say, she calls it a one-to-many approach. So that's why the consortium is so important, is because it allows a company like Mastercard to invest in a node that has a multiplier effect on nodes across the country, across different universities. So from a very practical investment perspective, pragmatic investment, as our board would say, it just makes good sense for us to do this. Why data? Why data science? There are two things that we accomplish in partnership with this grant. And first I have to say, $6.5 million is a lot for us too. So it's an investment that we're all watching, and it is a very high priority for everybody at the company. But the reason for data science and this investment, because what we all know about data science has been so eloquently spoken about today, from a commercial perspective at Mastercard, those who are creating the data sets, those who are interpreting the data, those who are those who are creating products based on that data are very powerful people. And unless we're ensuring that the perspectives of many are involved in the production of that commodity called data, we'd run the risk of building an evidence base that isn't actually based on fact, based on real evidence. And so this is an investment in ensuring that we, along with many others, build that evidence base in the right way. And that is only possible if we ensure that all voices and all talents and all capabilities are part of that conversation. So again, from a very pragmatic, from a business perspective, it makes sense to ensure that we're investing with HBCUs in building the field of data science. Why Center for Inclusive Growth, and why the investment in data science for social impact? So the reason why we have to do the second thing, so invest in data science to expand the field, but the focus on data science for social impact is that the field of data science is growing exponentially, as you can see with AI and things like that. The problem is there's an information inequality gap that is being created even as we speak. So with ChatGPT and AI, what we see sitting inside a company like Mastercard is an alarmingly wide gap being created between the data haves and the data have-nots. And that even the data scientists who are trained are going into fields that are commercially sustainable, which is great, but those of us who work on impact, those of us who are working in the social sector, also recognize that we're falling further and further behind because we're not creating a market for data scientists who specialize in social impact. So thank you for coming from the social work space, and frankly, thanks for coming from the dance space. Like, all of these things have practical application. So that's the reason why data science and then data science for social impact. We've been at this for 10 years at the Center for Inclusive Growth. Mastercard's been at this for much longer. And from the beginning, Mastercard and the center established a set of principles around data that's different from what you'll hear from other companies and organizations. And those principles are very simple. The customer, you, should own your data. You should benefit from your data. And you should have companies like Mastercard who invested in protecting the data. That's as simple as it gets for us around the data principles. But that's really important when it comes to this type of partnership and this type of investment, because what it means is you're creating the future of what we all need to have in a world that does recognize the values that are inherent in data science. And so, as you can tell, I've been thinking about this for a long time. We've been working on this for a long time. We're incredibly proud to partner with Dr. Hodge, Dr. Washington, and have the support and the execution ability of everybody in this room. Because I can tell you what's happening here today is a very important moment. We are at an inflection point when it comes to technology, when it comes to data. And what usually happens is that HBCUs in particular, minorities more specifically, are usually brought in later in the conversation. So the field usually advances and the investments are usually made. And then there's something about, oh, we need to make sure we're taking the pie and distributing it widely. What we're attempting to do here is actually make this investment on the front end of the equation. So we're accelerating the conversation so that we all have a voice and we all have the ability to invest now, at the beginning. So I guess my ask of all of you is to please bring your best selves to this conversation, because this is our moment to lead rather than come from behind. So on behalf of Mastercard and the Center for Inclusive Growth, we congratulate you on our $6.5 million grant to build the field of data science through AUC. Thank you.
One more round of applause from Mastercard and Ms. Shamina Singh. Yes. So I do want to, on behalf of the AUCC and the Data Science Initiative, thank you for your vision and leadership, and thank Mastercard for your investment, not only in the future of data science, but particularly for Black and brown people. Now, we would like to do we were all excited before. Are you coming now? Okay, well, switcheroo. Well, coming to the stage now is the Executive Director and CEO of the AUCC, Dr. Michael, the very sharply dressed Dr. Michael Hodge.
Just trying to keep up with young people. So thanks to everyone. I did step out of order a little bit because I did want to make sure that we heard from the president of Clark Atlanta, the illustrious Clark Atlanta University, and Dr. French, and he's got an interesting book in his hand that I think he's going to say something about as he comes up here. To make a few remarks to you, I just want to make sure that we did not overlook Dr. French, President French.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Hodge. Good afternoon. Oh, listen, we're talking about $6.5 million. Mrs. Singh, thank you to Mastercard. Thank you for investing in excellence on the front end. Thank you, Dr. Hodge, for your leadership of the AUC. And most certainly, Dr. Washington, you are that dynamic leader. And thank you so much for your commitment to the young people within the AUC and at Clark Atlanta University. And I wasn't planning on, I was carrying it, but I'm reading it. But it's interesting because this book is W.E.B. Du Bois' Data Portraits, Visualizing Black America. So when you recall that W.E.B. Du Bois did the majority of his work, 24 years at this institution, this is where he did data visualization. He did it right here in infographics, color infographics. It was here when W.E.B. Du Bois had gone, of course, to Philadelphia to study African Americans, and then he came to Atlanta to do the same thing, and he became known so much so for his research that the United States Department of Labor began to depend upon him to set policies as he talked about the numbers of African Americans that were, for example, in the coal mines. So W.E.B. Du Bois was the forerunner for where we are today. And now we celebrate data science. And we're celebrating it, guys. Let me tell you, in a big, Dr. Platt, this is in a big way. And it's in a big way because it starts from the top. And yes, we were able to recruit Dr. Washington to come to lead this effort. And since she's been here, she continues to raise the bar exponentially in everything she does. So thank you, Dr. Washington, for your leadership. And again, Mastercard, thank you for your investment. And I'm going to tell you something. Before I say my last thank you to Mastercard, if you've ever put something together like this, you know it takes a lot of work. You can walk in and look at it, and it looks beautiful. But when I took the time to just look at that stage and that set, that took a lot of work. The balloons, the colors, the background, bringing in the chairs, bringing in the platform, that took a lot of work. I want you all to know, I see you, and we thank you. Mastercard, Ms. Singh, you are so powerful. Thank you for your commitment to inclusivity. Thank you to Mastercard for this commitment to the Atlanta University Center of $6.5 million. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. French. All right. So now I'd like to invite our Mastercard leadership up, along with our AUC leadership, Mr. President French, for our official handoff and unveiling. Yeah, let's have, I was going to do a little drum roll, but all right.
So we can actually look like we're handing you.
Yeah, okay, wait. Which side am I going?
Why don't you go that side?
Okay, we're gonna go this side.
We're handing, yeah, so the MasterCard is, yeah, let's switch.
AUC, come on over here. Okay, you want to
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There we go.
Okay, there we go, okay.
Okay, now we invite our faculty and panelists up for a quick picture. Oh, so our faculty and panelists up for a quick picture.
She said, put it on the floor and stand on the stage behind it.
Oh, yeah, that is probably better.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
Or should we hold it again?
Yeah, please go on the floor. Todd, where are you?
My father is also Dr. Singh. He's a community college professor researching here.
And thank you. And let's have one with the data science team and Mastercard, please. So data science team to the stage.